of the camera and called the 3/5 compromise a great move, a clause that counted black human beings as 3/5 a person. He did not just misread history. He did not just misspeak. He revealed a dangerous belief that the dehumanization of others is a building block of American greatness. Well, not on our watch. Not in Monroe County, and not anywhere in the state of Indiana. Let me tell you something that rings from the pews to the pavement. We are more than 3/5. We are whole. We are worthy. We are beloved. And we refuse to go backwards. The 3/5 compromise was not a compromise. It was a wound, carved into our founding documents, inked in the blood of those who were bought and sold. And let me be clear, there is no greatness in bondage. There is no glory in erasure. There is no righteousness in racism. To celebrate that history as a triumph, that is not just false, it is grotesque. But even now, I say this: we are not here to cancel anyone. We are not here to condemn a man's soul. We are here to respectfully call him in. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, listen. There is still time to do what is right. There is still time to say, I was wrong. There is still time to offer an apology, not to me, but to the generations whose blood built this nation and whose memory you have dishonored. Say they mattered. Say they are whole. Say their names. Because until we reckon with our past, we cannot build a future. And I believe in that future. I believe in truth-telling. I believe in repentance. Because I believe in resurrection. So we will keep showing up. We will keep marching and voting and running and rising. Because we are not 3/5. We are not fractions. We are the full promise of this democracy. And we, my friends, are just getting started. Thank you, amen and amen.
Thank you, Senator Shelley Yoder, and thank you and amen. Is Reverend Steele able to join us? Well, wonderful. Here comes Reverend Ned Steele, pastor of Ellettsville First United Methodist Church. Welcome, Pastor Steele.
Hello, friend. I'm an old guy. Really old, and I'm retired, but in retirement, I am a co-pastor for the past 2.5 years at Ellettsville United Methodist Church. But tonight, I'll get close to the mic. Eat it. It's dessert. But I need to make it clear that I'm speaking for me tonight. Others can speak for themselves. I stand here today because the bishop that I serve under has said, Reverend Tracy Malone, she has said, in every public square, we are called to be a people who affirm the humanity of all. So that's what, for about 2 minutes, I want to affirm. There is no such thing as 3/5 of a person, and that's not a compromise we are willing to make. We just are not. So I stand to say to our Lieutenant Governor, you need to get your facts straight. Don't redo history for us. We've read the books. I would stand to say to our governor, get your act together, and condemn the words of this man who has said there are 3/5 of people walking among us. Your silence is complicity, and we will not stand for that. Now, I'm a preacher, so some of this is going to sound like a preacher, but that's how it goes.
But you're preaching a good word.
No, that's good. I stand in this public square today to say that with our public elected officials, we do not have to tolerate the intolerable. We do not have to accept the unacceptable. We do not have to adjust to the unjust and disgusting. We do not have to endure the unendurable. We can't change things. And she's right, we are just getting started. It's going to take all we've got. So if we've signed on, it's for the long run. We deserve in this, I've spent 75 of my 80 years in this state and since 2009 in this county. So I'm one of us, and I've retired here. I was born in Indiana, I'll most likely die in Indiana, so I've got some tenure, and I would say that what we want and deserve in this state of ours is the ability to celebrate all humanity. All humanity. We want to lift each other up and cheer each other on. We want to set our sights on diversity and not division. We want to set our sights on opportunities and not opposition. We want to set our neighborhoods and our sights on inclusion rather than exclusion. So, Mr. Governor and Mr. Secretary of State, don't try to take us back, because we ain't going that way. We've done it before, and it do not work.
All right.
Thank you so much, Pastor Green. And next, I would welcome Manasseh Gabon, who is the pastor of Unity of Bloomington.
Well, what an honor to be here and to follow those two rabble-rousers. Good to see it. And so, our beloved community, we are gathered here today not to respond, but to reclaim the truth, to reclaim the narrative, and most importantly, to reclaim our divine power to think critically, speak truthfully, and live consciously. Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith recently offered, as our senator said, a dangerous distortion of history, claiming that the 3/5 compromise was not about discrimination, but about equity. Let us be clear. This statement is neither historically accurate or spiritually awake. The 3/5 compromise was not designed to liberate. It was designed for leverage. It calculated the worth of my ancestors as not whole human beings, but as political currency, a fraction to be counted, but never honored. It was not a step forward. It was a strategy to protect a system built on bondage. To revise this truth is not simply ignorance. It is a misuse of power and a profound misunderstanding of consciousness. In New Thought, we teach that right thinking leads to right action, that our thoughts create our reality. So let us ask, what kind of consciousness is being revealed when a leader defends the dehumanization of others as a historical win for equity? That is not divine mind. That is not oneness. That is not truth. Now, we're not here to shame, but we're here to shine the light, to say you cannot uplift a state by suppressing history. You cannot lead people forward if you refuse to face the pain of the past with honesty in heart. African Americans, women, immigrants are not 3/5 of a person, 60% of the value of a white person. Every person is wholly divine. And it's time to move from this low-level consciousness of fear and control to a consciousness of truth, clarity, and compassion. And so today I call us, especially our leaders, to be mindful, not to manipulate, to speak with understanding, not distortion, to harness the power of their mind to purposefully and powerfully serve healing, wholeness, and justice for all. This is about alignment with truth. Let us rise not in rage, but in revelation. Let us teach, not to condemn, but to correct. Let us speak, not to win an argument, but to raise consciousness. When we remember who we are, whole, holy, and powerful, we stop accepting fragments of the truth and step into what I call the namaste moment, where the Christ in me, where the power in me, where the goodness in me, when the oneness in me can look at everyone, all of God's children, and see that oneness, that divinity, that beauty, that wholeness in you. So, namaste.
Thank you so much, Pastor Cabal. And next we have Jim Sims. Jim is president of the Monroe County branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP. Welcome, Brother Jim.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. I only get a few minutes, but I want to take a little bit out for you all to give yourselves some applause right now. Thank you for being here. We got to have events like this so we can push back on what we disagree with and what we oppose. As Guy said, my name is Jim Sims, and I am the current president of the Monroe County NAACP. I did a little bit of time on Bloomington City Council. Many of you might know that. So we know a little bit about politics and how to treat people. But in the short time that I have, I'd like to raise 3 points, if I may. The first one is that the NAACP is the oldest and the boldest civil rights organization in this country.
All right.
Okay? We are nonviolent, we are nonpartisan, but we are not apolitical. We vote. We don't tell you who to vote for, but we participate in the voting process. We encourage your right to vote. We work to get out to vote, and yes, we protest. Words matter.
Yes.
I'm going to repeat that. Words matter.
Yes.
When I think of Lieutenant Governor Beckwith's incorrect and misinformed, and I'll dare say hateful comments on the 3/5 compromise of 1787, I also think of renowned poet Maya Angelou. When she says, when someone shows you who they are, you believe them the first time. Now this highlights the importance of a person's true character rather than just their words. I think Beckwith has shown his true character. What do you think? Now just as importantly, and I wonder, and I'm sure you do too, is why hasn't Governor Braun denounced his lieutenant governor's attempt to distort this historical narrative?
Why not?
I dare say I think we all know. Now, you may wonder what my 2 remaining points are. Thank you for asking. And I want you to remember these. I think they're important, at least to me. Point number 2, do not be distracted. We've got a super majority. They are doing 11th hour additions to bills that are getting passed. They are flooding everything with bills. We don't know what's coming and going. Do not be distracted. Hear what they say while they're doing something else. Hear what they say, and then we need to believe it. Part of Project 2025, a lot of us started to read that, knew about it. I think many of us just didn't believe it. Do not be distracted. We have one more point. Thank you for asking. I've used this term before, but I think it's apropos for today and for all of us as long as we're humans. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. Thank you. Part of that is you need to contact your elected representatives. Now, I didn't say just your Democrats or your Republicans. I didn't say that. Contact your elected representatives. Let them know your position. Let them know what you feel about, what you think about certain things. Part of that is to seek accountability. We let people just get away with murder, as my grandma used to say. Hold them accountable. Let them know we hear what you're saying. We see what you're doing. Last thing, when we have the power of the people, I want you to think in terms about midterm elections. Let your vote speak. We can talk, we can push back, we can protest, and we're gonna. But the thing that is really going to make a difference is for us to get some of them people out of there and get the right ones in. And the only way we can do that is to vote. Again, thank you all for caring. Thank you for being here. God bless you, and don't be distracted. Thank you.
Thank you, President Sims, my president. And next, we're going to take a minute to get a microphone over to the revered Charlotte Zitlow.
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Don't be distracted is the right message, I think. I am a minister's daughter, and I was taught to love God and to love the world and everything that God created. And that created all people. And so it dismayed me when I started growing up and realized that didn't mean the same thing to everybody, or they didn't pay attention. They got distracted. But I'll tell you, in 1968, my family and I went to Czechoslovakia, and the communists had taken over. The Russians were there. That was during the Warsaw Pact had taken over. And we lived in a city in Bratislava, and the government there had decided to close up, basically stop people from doing what they needed to do and getting what they needed to have. Only very special people in power. It wasn't only that they had money, but they had power. And they just came at the people. And they did one thing after another to tighten the screws on the lives of people. And don't be distracted by what's happening internationally, because we have yes, this is political, isn't it? Because we have a president who every day changes what he thinks should be the best for the people of the United States, except turns out, it wasn't so good after all. I'll do that, I won't do that, I won't do that. He's living on distraction. We have a distracted government. And as a result, we have real danger in our lives. And I don't want you to mistake me. We have danger in our lives.
Right.
And we don't know from day to day what the danger is because it's happening out there. Now, I came today mainly because I am a minister's daughter. And I've been reading my catechism, and I was reminded that the basis of Christianity, Mr. Beckwith, whatever your name is loving your neighbor as thyself, and your God is the deliverer of all good suggestions. And don't be, and we as a country are so used to be living in a free country that we are not looking at what's happening to us here. So this gathering today is really, really important. We should have gatherings like this constantly, because we can't be distracted, or we will find ourselves, as they did in Czechoslovakia, suddenly not able to cross borders as citizens, not able to buy food, not able to go to the hospital without taking their own clothes and their food along. That's sort of, or not knowing what to buy because there's nothing to buy in the store unless you have money in your back pocket that you can pull out and pay off somebody to get something from the back shelf. We lived with that in that situation, and every day it changed, and every day it got worse, and there was no opportunity to argue against it. There was no opportunity to do anything public like this today. So pay attention, everybody. Do not be distracted, is right. But furthermore, today I realized that somebody, Mr. Beckwith, believes that we should become a Christian nation. I don't think he believes that, because what he says is not what I understood to be Christianity. Here's my catechism from when I was a little girl. I went to Protestant school. I went to a parochial school through 8th grade. So I've heard the message, and I've memorized it, and I've forgotten some of it. Because what I remember mainly is you should love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yes.
And and have no other gods but God. But we are living in a country where loving thy neighbor is put down by the people who have things and who have done what they can to keep us from understanding that we should live as one people, human beings, everyone. So I read all the commandments today again, and the first and second commandments are very important. Love thy God and love thy neighbor. But the next 8 commandments are part of everybody's life that is talking. Coveting, adultery, theft, the sorts of things that are commanded not to do. We do, and our leaders do, and it's most discouraging. So don't be distracted. Look around and see what people are saying, what they're doing with their money, and how they're getting. We lived in Czechoslovakia for a year. We were able to leave the country anytime we wanted. We were able to have dollars, and so we could buy things in the store. And we were treated very well, and that was totally wrong. I was brought up to believe that everybody should have advantage of everybody else, and that's the way it should be. We live in a wonderful country. I've always been very proud to be American. I am not proud to be an American under the current regime. I'm sorry, I am not proud. And I hear you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as we go through life, please, I beg you to speak out and do not take your eyes off the prize. because it's very valuable and it will be snatched away if we let it be. So, Mr. Beckwith, thank you for reminding us what we shouldn't do and what we shouldn't be.
Thank you, Charlotte Zidlow, former president of the Bloomington City Council and the Monroe County Commission, and a great institution of our county and our state. Next up and last on our speaker list, because we want to finish by 5:30, and we're going to do it so that we can get those of us who want to can go have the opportunity to hear and hopefully question Mr. Beckwith, is Reverend David W. Green, President of Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis. Welcome, Reverend.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're not here today for politics. We're here for principles. We're not here for chaos. We're here for clarity. We're not here because we're angry. We're here because we are accountable to the truth. When Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith said the three-fifths compromise was a great move, he did not just utter a misguided opinion. He resurrected a lie that generations have fought to bury. Let me remind us this afternoon, the three-fifths compromise did not just recognize black people as 60% of a person, it recognized us as less than whole. It wasn't a technicality, it was a tragedy. It wasn't a solution, it was a symptom of white supremacy. That compromise was designed to empower slave-holding states, not to advance liberty or justice. It gave political clout to those who denied human dignity. And now in 2025, for any elected official, especially one who calls himself a minister, to glorify that clause is an offense to God, to history, and to every descendant of the enslaved. Today we hear echoes of the hurtful past from the state's leadership being rebranded as wisdom. That's not leadership. It's moral malpractice. But silence is not an option. History has warned us what happens when we refuse to speak up. Pastor Martin Nomiller once wrote, "First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists. I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and then I speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me." Let that sink in for just a moment. If we do not speak out now, there may not be anyone left to speak up for us. We have a responsibility to the truth. We have a duty to justice. We have a covenant with our ancestors and our children to never be silent when hate is trying to speak the loudest. I want to be clear this afternoon. This is not about political affiliation. This is about moral alignment. Because the same spirit that stirred Harriet Tubman to keep going, the same fire that fueled Fannie Lou Hamer to speak up, the same faith that carried Dr. King to the mountaintop, that same spirit must live in us today. So I need you to look at your neighbor and say, "Neighbor, we will not go backwards." Say that again like you mean it. We will not go backwards. For our children, for our seniors, for the truth, we will not go backwards. I want the Lieutenant Governor to hear us on today. This is not the Indiana of 1850. This is not the Indiana of Jim Crow. This is the Indiana of conscience, conviction, and community. And we're just not rallying here, we are rising. We're rising in the truth. We're rising in justice. We're rising in memory of those who came before us. We will not back down. We will not stay quiet. We will continue to speak, and we will speak louder because we have justice and truth on our side than ignorance will ever be. God bless you all. Thank you.
thank you all for coming, and we're going to wrap it up here with a couple of things that are very important. But before I do, I want to thank the organizers of this event, Lisa Noling, pastor of the First United Methodist Church, and Russ Skiba, retired Indiana University professor. Thank you for all the work that went into getting this wonderful group together. And Russ is going to come on up and say a few words about what to expect and when we disband and go in. Those of us who want to will go into the end of the assembly to hear and hopefully question Mr. Beckwith.
That was all okay, except I'm not sure about being able to tell you about what to expect. My approach to life these days is I don't know what to expect. But what we'll do from here is the town hall, Lieutenant Governor Beckwith's town hall, starts at 6 o'clock in this very town hall right over here. For those of you who wish to go in, you can go in at any time. I think there'll be a limit of 100, but it doesn't seem like we're going to exceed 100 for sure. If you do go in, I would, if you choose not to go in, and I've heard some people say, I don't want to go in, there are a bunch of signs that have been crafted, and you're welcome to use your own sign or any of the signs that Pastor Noling has. And stand outside quietly and just hold your signs. If you do go in, our watchword is nonviolence and civility. We do not want to end up on the evening news as being disruptive of anyone's speech here today. I think you have seen from these speakers that there's a great deal of disrespect in the kind of things that the Lieutenant Governor says, but we want to greet that disrespect with respect. And so that's the watchword for today. But thank you very much. I don't know if you have any closing words, Guy?
I of course, just a couple. Thank you all. It's been a wonderful day, and I counted just around 125 people. So if they're going to limit it to 100, they're going to be forced to say we can't come in. So I hope everybody who wants to will go on over and try to get a seat. And thank you all for coming. It's been a great rally.